Hi everyone, Connor here from Team Blockdaemon, and today we present a tutorial designed to show you the process of using the Blockdaemon Cardano Staking Reporting API. With Blockdaemon's Cardano Staking Reporting API, you can quickly and easily access Cardano staking information, which can be used for financial data analysis if you wish. The Cardano staking reporting endpoints allow the retrieval of staking data in Cardano mainnet. You can get current or historical stake and rewards allocated to a given delegator address or addresses and other data, such as the status of a delegator. It's important to note from the outset that there are different endpoints available to you depending on the Cardano staking data you need. First, we'll cover the API call, which returns the current stake and rewards allocated by a user-defined delegator address. After this, we'll go through how you can configure the time interval with which you'd like to retrieve historical delegator reward data. The good news is that you can get started with the Blockdaemon API today for free by logging into app.blockdaemon.com and clicking API Suite in the left-hand menu. From here, you can get free access for a limited period of time. Click Create API Key and enter the name you'd like. You'll see your new API key appear on screen. Now, let's jump into the process of how you can retrieve current stake rewards for your delegator of choice. To do this, we'll refer to the Blockdaemon API documentation. In the Get Code section, you will find a URL. We'll now need an API platform to run this request. In this tutorial, I'll be using the Postman desktop app. Here, navigate to the Authorization tab, select Type Bearer Token, and input your previously copied Blockdaemon API key. As we're making a GET request, paste the code snippet mentioned previously from the Blockdaemon API documentation. Ensure that Cardano is specified as the protocol and mainnet as the network, and that you've inserted your delegator address. Please verify all fields for accuracy. Once confirmed, click Send. Your returned data will appear below. Let's break down what each field means. First of all, we have the address. This is the unique identifier of your delegator address in the Cardano network. Next is currency. In this case, it's ADA, which is the native currency for Cardano. The metadata section contains additional useful details, including which epoch the staking rewards data relates to. First is commission. The commission rate a validator charges is the percentage of your reward that the validator keeps for themselves. Keep in mind that validators can adjust their commission rates up and down over time. Epoch refers to the epoch in Cardano that these rewards were generated. Keep in mind, an epoch lasts 5 days. The return field shows the amount of ADA the delegator has received in rewards for this particular epoch. The starting balance represents how much ADA this delegator started with at the beginning of this period. The time aggregation field indicates the time frame over which this data is aggregated. Here, it is aggregated at an epoch level. Time start and time end are the starting and ending timestamps, respectively. In this case, the data we have is for an epoch. Now, let's dive into how you'd retrieve previous historical staking rewards by letting you configure the time interval for reward data. Blockdaemon has two endpoints available for this. The first endpoint allows you to get the historical stake and rewards for a single delegator, while the second allows you to get the historical stake and rewards of multiple delegators. Links to documentation for both will be added to the video description below. However, in this video, I'll show you how to retrieve staking reward data using the endpoint for multiple delegators, as this covers both one or multiple delegator addresses. The way you construct the API request, however, will be similar no matter which of the two endpoints you're using. First and foremost, however, please ensure you have carried out the prerequisite task of generating your unique Blockdaemon API key, as outlined earlier in the video, before you follow the steps below. Assuming you already have, let's dive in. First, we'll refer to the Blockdaemon API documentation. You can find a link to the docs for the historical Cardano staking reporting API in the description box of this video. Here, you will find a URL. In a few moments, we'll need to copy this snippet of text. We'll now need an API platform to run this request. In this tutorial, I'll be using the Postman desktop app. If you haven't already done so, navigate to the Authorization tab, select Type Bearer Token, and input the API key you previously created in the Blockdaemon app. We're making a post request, so ensure the post option is selected. Paste the URL snippet from the Blockdaemon API documentation into the request field. Next, you'll need to add the time parameters you'd like to query. I'll head over to the body tab within the Postman app. Note that in this section, I've selected raw and JSON options. Now, you'll enter the timestamps for the specific time period of staking rewards, using from time and to time parameters, which are outlined in the Blockdaemon docs page. Please note, both of these parameters require timestamps in seconds. If you'd like to convert dates and times to seconds, you can use an online tool, such as the one found at epochconverter.com. You also have the option to configure the time time unit parameter for the data that you'd like to retrieve. So for example, if you'd like to retrieve staking reward data spanning across a week of time, you can set the time unit parameter to give you a breakdown of rewards across each day. You can set the time unit to give you a snapshot of your rewards by day, week, or even month. Finally, I've entered the 2 addresses that I'd like to query staking rewards for. I've already populated these fields with some data, and once I've confirmed all of the details, I'll click send. Let's briefly review what each field means. First off, we have address. This is the unique identifier of your address in the Cardano network. Next is currency. In this case, it's ADA, which is the native currency for Cardano. The metadata section contains additional useful details, including which epoch the staking rewards relate to. Keep in mind an epoch lasts 5 days. Note there will be multiple epochs listed in the API response for each of the delegated addresses if your chosen time period covers many epochs. The return field shows the amount of ADA the delegator has received in rewards for this particular epoch. The starting balance represents how much ADA this delegator started with at the beginning of the period. The time aggregation field indicates the time frame over which this data is aggregated. Here it is aggregated at an epoch level. Time start and time end are the starting and ending timestamps, respectively. In this case, the data we have is for an epoch period. As mentioned earlier, an epoch lasts 5 days. So there you have it. You're now able to decode Cardano delegator staking reward API requests, understanding every bit of information about a delegator's stake and rewards, both current and historical. Once you've tested the API and are familiar with its endpoints, you can start integrating it into your application or using it for your own data analysis for rapid access to Cardano staking data. Stay tuned by subscribing to Blockdaemon's YouTube channel for more deep dives into the world of blockchain. But until next time, we wish you successful staking.